Welcome back to another episode of Suds and Cinema. My name's Kyle.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Josh.
This is episode 134, and today we are finally reviewing Bones and All. Working title, Bone and Balls. So, gonna be huge. Luca Guadagnino. Big fans all around. Plus some other stuff we watched. Maybe. Are you guys done watching movies or what? That's the time to watch movies.
It's the World Cup.
Okay. Yeah, World Cup also.
Been watching that constantly.
It was Thanksgiving week. So how was your guys' Thanksgivings?
Oh, just great.
You're gonna pay attention to the podcast? Or you're gonna watch this fucking soccer game?
I mean, this could be Canada's first win ever.
Who the fuck cares?
Billion people care, okay?
Is there a billion people in Canada?
No, I mean just in the world.
I don't think a billion people care about Canada. No offense to Canada.
True. There's less people in Canada than California.
Yeah, so.
True. So it was good?
Yeah, it was
good.
good.
Exhausting for me. I had 3 of them to go to, so.
Yeah, I bet.
Tiring, but we made it through.
A lot of food.
Tons of food. In
Good
bed by like 10.
Had to sleep
Stuffed
off
to
all
the
the
brim.
food.
I ate so much I was so full still the next day.
You're like, I didn't even
woke
eat.
up and I was like, ugh.
Like, I don't feel like eating today. I need to take a day off.
Yeah, and then yesterday we went to Wolverine State Brewing, had a couple brewhas there after we watched Bones and All.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Ann Arbor, super meta.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Oh, yeah, I know. I saw that.
Like, we were there at the time. We're like, oh, that's weird.
James like, that's meta.
Yeah, it felt very meta.
So, yeah.
Yep.
And then, yeah, here we are, ready to drink more beer.
All right, cool. Well, let's get into our beer. So we're going to do 2 beers for this episode because we have 2 just single cans that we want to get through. And one of them was from Travis, so that was a while ago, so we definitely want to get that while it's fresh.
I love you, Dad.
And then the other one is a can Josh got, so I guess he can talk about that when we get to it. But let's start with the Great Notion beer, and I believe it's called Top of the Morning.
That it is. It's a tall can on the bottom, next to the other one. That's the one. It was picked specifically for Jacob because there's a climber on it.
Is there?
There is.
Probably going to be one of the best beers we've had on the show.
Yeah. Maybe. Could be.
Tip top of the morning.
Is it says tip top?
Tip top of the morning.
I have it. Oh, collaboration beer.
Yeah, with
Around the Horn.
ATH.
Yeah, Around the Horn. Did you find it, Kyle? I know your untapped skills are pretty chalked.
Tart ale
I'm not
with
looking for it.
strawberry, banana, granola, maple flavor, vanilla flavor, and certified color. Yum.
Wait, what'd you say that was in it?
Strawberry, banana, granola, maple,
Okay.
vanilla, and certified color.
Okay, well, we have a different, little more description on the untapped, so I'll go ahead and read that. It reads, we made a smoothie beer with our buddy Andrew from Around the Horn Brewing Company in Groveland. Why is it spelled wrong in this? Groveland, California. This breakfast-inspired sour smoothie is loaded up with strawberries, granola, bananas, maple syrup, and vanilla. Contains dairy.
So it doesn't talk about the certified color in that
Doesn't. And perfect because it's before noon, so technically breakfast.
And I plan on going climbing after.
Look at that.
Boom.
Beautiful.
The way it just ties in is immaculate. Sitting at a 6%, 2 IBUs.
2? Why would they even put that then?
Is that even...
it's not a scientific score
Yeah,
anyway.
that's not even
so
measurable.
You might as well say 0.
Yeah.
Clearly, IBUs are dying. Like,
Yeah.
no one cares about an IBU unless it's an IPA, and even then, it's
kind of pointless at this point.
It's arbitrary
Yeah.
anyway.
It's arbitrary.
Pretty much, you can only taste up to 100, and anything over 60 is bitter. So, it's like, whoa. And it's sitting at a 4.14 Untapped rating.
So
Huge.
a good one.
Should be.
All right.
Give us our can crack and pour it up.
All over my face.
Did it?
Yeah.
Nice. So you know it's going to be good.
It smells super mapley.
What are you doing?
I'm just getting shocked really quick. I have no idea, so we'll keep going.
Jacob, how many times have you poured a
don't
fucking
usually do that.
beer and it's
Not
never that low?
3 different ways.
Every time we do one.
Did you measure it perfectly, Jacob?
No, he
I
didn't.
Well, I mean,
Science rules.
I would need a graduated cylinder in order to perfectly measure this. Or an Erlenmeyer flask.
You're going to want to get some of that, Jacob,
Well, see,
At least
this
a
is how
little
you're
bit.
supposed to do it, see?
because you had none of the juices. It sank right to the bottom. Look.
Yeah, just immediately.
Are we about even
yeah.
here?
Yeah, right now.
Looks good. Close enough.
There was a little bit left. That's what I was wondering.
Oh, gotcha.
Get some of my. I'll get some of the
Goop.
All the,
goop too.
Oh, yeah.
Some of that goop.
I'm gonna come.
There might be a little goop left.
I'll take some goop. Oh, yeah, goop.
That
Oh,
would have
yeah.
been your favorite sip, Jacob.
Very mapley on the nose.
Yum.
Yeah, it smells like straight like maple syrupy jam.
What?
It does.
That's what it
Yeah,
smells
but-
like.
Maple syrupy jam.
That's what it is.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Top of the morning.
Whoa.
That works. See, in this case, I feel like the maple works really well. What is that? Strawberry and what else?
Strawberry, banana, granola,
Mm.
maple syrup.
That's it.
Yeah.
See, this is a good balance. I don't get too much of that granola, which I hate when it's like overpowers the fruit.
But this is Kyle's least favorite style of smoothie
My least favorite style of
because it has
smoothie.
it's the dessert smoothies, not the
Why
fruit.
is that my least favorite? No,
We've
it's not.
we've been
No,
over
that's
this.
Jacob's least favorite because he hates the graham cracker and shit.
I thought you said that too.
No,
Because you
remember
didn't
I
like
said
that one beer that we
um,
had, the cheesecake one.
Well, yeah, but I'm just not a fan of cheesecake.
Oh.
So like, but like I like the dessert. I like the dessert smoothies.
So Jacob, you're the one that hates it.
It's true, and this one works.
Yeah,
Like this is not too much, and plus I love maple syrup.
I think this is like, no matter what you, I guess, however you feel about the flavors, it's at least unique. It's not wholly fruit. It's not like wholly dessert.
Yeah,
You
I
get
think
a little
it's
bit
a
of
little
both.
too maple for me.
Not a big maple.
Not when it tastes this sweet. Like I used to love the blueberry maple stout from Saugatuck.
Yeah, that's too much now.
But now that's like, yeah, you burp and it
Yeah.
tastes like maple syrup for 2 hours.
Sorry, I was not listening when you read the description. Did you get the collaboration brewery
Yeah.
on this? Cool.
With Andrew.
Around the horn.
Yep.
Their buddy Andrew.
Yeah. Andy.
Andy for short.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it because it's, like I said, it's unique. Like you get all the flavors that they're going for. I love strawberry banana. Maple is nice. Granola makes it nice, breakfasty.
I don't think it's too overpowering on the sweetness either. That's easy to do, like you were saying. I feel like this just adds
Yeah.
enough maple flavor.
Well, like especially my first drink, because obviously it's your first drink. It was really kind of that tartness hit you, but yeah, I didn't get like overwhelmed with sweetness.
It's good. I think this is the best of the dessert style smoothie beers that I've ever had.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Now I
Whoa,
don't think
whoa,
that's like a big thing to say because I don't normally like those that much.
Yeah, it's good. Still, like I said, a little too mapley for me. But it is
Yeah,
unique.
I can see that.
But how's the mouth feel?
Mouth feels great. How's it feel in your mouth?
Feels pretty creamy.
Mm.
And I like that.
Holy shit, I'm gonna come.
Yeah.
And sticky.
All right. Yeah. Anything else to say on tip top of the morning? Crushability? Not gonna
Pretty
be
low.
high.
Yeah.
3.
I would say 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think I'm
Maybe-
good with the exact amount that we had.
I could have done like a full one, but no more.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Yeah,
pretty content on.
Like a 12. This would be like a 12,
Yeah.
not like a full.
Yeah,
pint.
exactly.
I agree. All right, well, that was tip top of the morning. Excuse me. From Great Notion.
Top of the morning.
Should we get into our featured review here?
We should.
Let me pull it up here. All right, well, we are discussing Bones and All. Bones and All is written by David Kahaniak.
Yeah, good luck.
Kajganich. That's what I'm going with. And it is directed by Luca Guadagnino. Stars Timothy Chalamet, Taylor Russell, Mark Rylance,
David Gordon Green.
and Michael Stuhlbarg is in it. That's about it. Low. Plot synopsis reads, Marin, a young woman, learns how to survive on the margins of society. What did you guys think of Bones and All?
I enjoyed it quite a bit. I didn't at all know what it was about going in until Joshua talked about it right before.
I mean, I only knew a tiny bit of what it was about.
Yeah, it wasn't
I knew
quite
it was
there.
a horror romance, and that was I kind of got from the title what
I knew the
what
like
horror
gimmick,
was going to be. Yeah,
but like it doesn't say anything. So I went to see this with Alyssa, and she wanted to see it because it was Timothy Chalamet.
I'm sure she.
And I was like, oh, it's a romance. Nothing about that in the plot description or anything. We almost talked her sister into coming too, and I didn't say anything. I was like, okay, if I can get him to like fall into this, like it'd be so funny.
It's not like they're gonna leave.
Yeah, exactly. And it gets to the first scene of like the first incident or whatever, and I just look at Alyssa. She's like, "What the fuck is that?"
I was gonna. I just knew knowing it was horror, knowing it was Luca.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you said it
I
might
knew
have
it
been like a
wouldn't be.
zombie or something. Where I'm
Well,
like,
I didn't know what.
Yeah, I know.
But
I was thinking like warm bodies.
Mm.
Then I'm like, oh no, it is kind of like that, but they're not dead.
And not very funny.
No, not at all funny. It's not a rom-com.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I did enjoy it. I do think some parts were rushed too fast and other parts were dragged on too long. And I think the movie itself was a little too long. Kind of got, once you get past like the, I guess, gimmicks of it, it kind of felt, especially in one section of it, it felt very long. And I was kind of over it. And the ending felt like there was like multiple
Yes,
endings, which
that's
kind
where
of
it kind of fell apart for me. Was right at the end because then it started a story again, kind of, and then it immediately like ended after that, and that it just felt kind of empty.
Yeah, the ending kind of felt like
Like I'm
shoehorned in.
okay with the kind of endings that are ambiguous, but this felt like it wanted to add more and then just didn't. So it was kind
Right.
of clumsy at the end.
Yeah, I don't know if that was necessarily needed or not, but the true end, like the very last thing, well, I thought was pretty awesome. But other than that, yeah, it was good, not great for me.
Yeah, I liked Bones and All. I definitely wouldn't say I love it. I feel like I'm probably exactly where you guys are at. I know exactly what you're talking about with the ending. I think it comes down to like pacing and like structure, which when you step back and look at it, I was watching it in the theater and I was like, okay, it's so different and like it's just like not like a 3-act structure that like I was like, okay, I kind of like appreciate that it's different, but then like I could feel it watching it. Like I could feel the pacing slow down at parts. Like it was leading up to this one moment, and then after that, it's like, oh, there's still like 40 minutes left in the movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, where do we go from here? But I mean, ultimately, like if you break down like the moments and like the scenes, if you kind of treat them like separate stories, I like each of them, but like I don't know how well it flows together as like a cohesive movie. I really like the all the performances, Timothy Chalamet, and as far as I know, this unknown Taylor Russell, she was awesome. And like
I was
for never
wondering if
seeing
she
her
was
in
related
anything.
to Carrie Russell, but
Oh,
I don't think she is, because they didn't normally they tag like their parents, and she didn't. But
yeah, I mean that's a pretty common last name, but I guess
Right.
it could be. But yeah, I loved all the performances. I thought it was shot very interestingly. There's a lot of like choices made. Like I love the like the basically like the zoom in, but it's like a jump.
Yeah,
Yes,
jump
I
zooms.
loved that.
Yeah, I love those.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like an older technique that isn't used as much anymore.
I like his camera pans too, which I thought maybe this was the Suspiria because they had like very similar. It's not.
I
So
know
it must be
like the
Lucas'
guy.
direction.
Yeah, and the guy like I feel like it would not have been the same like because it's not the guy that did Call Me by Your Name either.
No, it was him and Suspiria were
Yeah.
the same guy.
Yeah, because those are much more like I don't know. The one movie is very intimate, but they're much more like non-personal. I guess they're much more like sterile looking, and this is like a lot more like a lot closer shots, personal, like up, like moving. I don't know, like for this movie, it works. It works well.
I agree.
What they're going for. So I liked how it was shot and a lot of those choices. But yeah, it just comes down to, I guess, like the story and what is it trying to say as well. I don't know that there's that much beyond like some obvious metaphors
Right.
and then just like surface level stuff. It doesn't really go much beyond that. And the only thing else to glean from that would be like the love story, which I think they do have good chemistry, but like we've seen better love stories, especially from Luca, like outsiders love stories, you know. Call Me by Your Name is miles better, I think. So yeah, overall liked it, didn't love it, but
Yeah, I did like how it was filmed. Some was actual on film, and you could those moments were really cool. And yeah, I think that this one feels like it was going more for like an indie film, like an indie romance versus. I mean, I haven't seen Call Me by Your Name, but I don't know if it's in that same vein or not. But obviously, Suspiria is definitely not. But yeah, this one just felt like it looked like my kind of movie.
yeah, yeah, with like a horror, like a little bit of horror twist. Yeah.
David Gordon Green. I don't know if you noticed him or not.
He's with he's the guy that's with Michael Stuhlbarg, I think.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, and then they introduce some stuff that they don't really go anywhere with, like the
Yes.
bones and all.
Yes, there's like a couple of things like that.
Yeah, I was like, that's a cool, like, interesting concept, but they don't really ever like talk about it again or bring it, or like nothing comes from
Not
that.
until like the end, and then I'm like, oh, this could be like an ending like that, and then maybe we see, but it doesn't.
I guess you could assume that
Yeah.
that happens, right? Like,
I don't know. It's not really clear whether how it actually ends is like they're okay.
Yeah, and I do
I don't
like, I do like titles being in the movie, but this one they did it like multiple times. I like it when it's kind of just like a one-off, like not necessarily a throwaway, but
titles. You're
like
talking
a-
about like the state abbreviations?
no.
No,
Like the
how it
actual
bones and
title.
Oh, the title. Sorry.
How they brought in the
Yeah.
title,
Oh, like, oh, there's the title
I
of the
know, we're
movie.
like, oh.
Yeah.
and then they did it like 4 or 5 times. and
But
I was
that
like, yeah.
also made it seem like that was going to be a bigger thing, but never really is.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like it could have. I mean, as far as I know, it's kind of faithful to the book, but that doesn't always mean like that you should just stay faithful to the book. You can, you know, we talk about it all the time. Movies are their own thing. Like, obviously, this is your inspiration. But
I mean, look how different Suspiria was
right? Yeah,
from the original. Nothing alike.
yeah. So I don't know. I feel like he could have pushed it further in some aspects. Like it's pretty graphic, but then like, not that I want to see that, but like Suspiria really goes there. And there's parts that like they just kind of shy away from in this movie, and then, like I said, the bones and all thing, like some of the horror angles, like the people, like the other eaters as they're called. Like I don't know, there's nothing besides the end that like I feel like those two characters, the Michael Stuhlbarg and David Gordon Green, like. That was going to be something else.
Yeah.
If you take them out, it doesn't, like, they didn't add anything other than saying the title of the movie. Like,
Well, it
went nowhere.
Yeah, I thought it was to create almost like an It Follows type feeling where it's like any time other people could be knowing where you are and that you are that, and they could be a danger because they know where you are, right? It's like this weird superpower that they share, but it's never really that much of a problem.
Yeah.
It's not like that becomes a problem that follows them other than, how it ends, right?
Yeah. And like there's one point too where it's like you find out that this person has been like following them this whole time, but you don't know that. They never give you like, would I rather see like would I rather have them show that he is following them and it's kind of like cliche and kind of tropey, but it raises the tension, or like do I like the fact that they just like hid it the whole time until the end?
But that almost I don't know, because I think the way it was done kind of makes it feel cheap, like a cliche moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like obviously, of course, things get happy, so it has to be a bad thing. And it's just like I guess that could be on purpose, because romance movies like that / rom-coms can always have that bad thing that happens after things are good. Maybe it's intentional to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I do feel like the one scene added just a lot of things that were interesting questions, the bones and all. It adds that other eaters also can find you. It adds like what the questions about whether a person who's not an eater can also kind of join them, it seemed like, because he wasn't, right? David Gordon Green's character wasn't, but yet it almost seemed like maybe he was starting to become it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, he said
He was
teaching him
learning
how
to smell. Yeah. So then I'm like, okay, that's just creating all these interesting things. Like, is this a power you can gain? Is this all in the heads? Is this real? Like, what is it's just adding a lot, and then it was kind of never addressed again.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with him like not getting too much into like grounding like these rules or like setting definite rules, because obviously there's like some fantasy element to it, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
It feels
but not
like
like too much.
It does feel like it's going into like maybe like a Twilight type thing. But
Yeah, but not to like an extreme where
Yeah.
it's like this could not be in the real
cheesy,
world or
right.
cheesy. Yeah, so I don't know, some of that stuff I guess I don't have a problem with, but yeah, there's other things that feel like are set up and just kind of left out there, and they're not like things that like I have like lingering questions on either. It's just like, okay, that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. Which maybe, again, could be the point.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is supposed to be some kind of metaphor for something, right? Like, are they actually eating
Yeah, we
people?
could talk about that. I
Yeah.
mean, there's the interesting thing about it is like them being able to them making you sympathetic of a cannibal, right? Because
Yeah.
this is like I think the way that it's shown is like supposed to be like one of the most immoral acts or whatever like possible, but when you're following these characters and you're sympathetic towards them, then like that's like an interesting angle to take, because like Hannibal Lecter, for example, like he's like the villain, right? And like there's no sympathy for him or whatever. Like he's evil. He's just evil incarnate from the beginning. But it like in this, you're meant to have like these feelings towards these people,
Like
and their
weird questions.
yeah, and like their stories and stuff too. It's kind of like they were like born into it. It's like hereditary for a lot of them. So that's like another angle. And then I think the most obvious thing for me, at least, was like some sort of substance abuse.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's
like,
a drug thing.
Yeah. Like
the way
them
they
being
were
born into
dressed.
it. Yeah, like poverty as another thing. Like, and then
It's
the time,
Ohio.
late 80s. Oh yeah, Ohio.
Well, Maryland originally.
Yeah, I know. But
But yeah,
I
just
know
like
you know Ohio
the
that long.
time frame that the movie set in, and a lot of things that, yeah, like born into it,
the mom
being poor,
yeah.
the mom, them like other people kind of being able to sense it. I feel like that's even like a thing of drug culture, is like you can always kind of spot another junkie.
Mhm.
Yeah, just like a lot of obvious things. I don't know, and again, I don't think it goes much deeper than like the surface level of that stuff, though. So I don't know what we get. What does that make the movie better? Does it add anything to the movie for you guys?
Maybe it is literally because like it's so done with these like drug movies and the romance and it being dark. That's like a pretty common thing.
Mm.
Versus this hit, maybe when that first came out, that was like a big thing. Like it really hit you with this like moral ambiguity and it made you think, but now it's just so done that it doesn't. But then you're like, okay, let's replace it with cannibalism and create that shock. And then that the questions that come in yourself, like you're like, okay, this
Come
is
in
fine.
yourself.
Yeah.
Come in yourself.
That like it makes you think and makes you uncomfortable trying to consider what they're going through, but also like this is pretty terrible. But it also makes you question that. I don't know. It's obviously to create discomfort, and whether that was effective or just a cheap way to do it, I guess is up to who's watching. But yeah, it could be just that.
I also didn't I didn't understand the flashbacks, like, or the dream sequences.
Yeah, like
They didn't really do, like, especially her dreams were like of her dad, like vomiting blood and stuff, and it's like, what?
Oh yeah.
Kind of felt like it was trying to show something, like, but then it never really fleshed out for me. And then obviously Timothy had the same, and his, we find out what his was. I mean, kind of, but it just felt like they were meant to do something, and if they weren't, then it's like, why were they there? Just to add tension or like just visuals, unsettling visuals. I don't.
Yeah, I haven't really like thought a lot about it. Maybe that would come on a rewatch or with like some research. But yeah, I kind of agree. Like, because her dad, it's pretty, like from what he says, it's pretty like clear that he's against, that, and I don't know, like what that would mean, like what that's representative of, like what those images are representative of him vomiting blood and some other things. It's pretty quick too, like the things that they flash up. So
that's why I was like,
that's like the most stark one.
I was
feel
gonna
like,
say that's the only one I remember.
Yeah, can't really.
well,
remember
Timothy
the rest
was
of them.
hitting with a crowbar.
Oh right, yeah.
And that was, you think that was one thing, but then you find out that it's not.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't
It's
know
true.
what the purpose of that was either.
I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Who knows? Got to ask Luca.
No, you got to ask crit checker.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have too much else to say.
I mean,
I
we
guess-
could talk about the end though.
Yeah, we can talk about the end.
Yeah.
I mean, we've touched on some things that I guess you could consider spoiler, but not too much. So, if we want to talk about the end, we'll say spoilers from here on out. Skip ahead.
You want to crack a beer before we do?
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Oh, well, I mean, we're talking about the end, and then are we going to wrap up after that?
Well, I
We
don't
should
have any
probably
name.
wait.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I do.
Oh, well, we can do
Okay,
it
well, yeah.
for Kyle.
Okay, for Kyle.
Do you have that much more to say on Bonesall? I don't want to cut you guys
No,
short.
no, go
No.
ahead.
Okay.
We can go.
Okay.
I can start.
Okay.
So, okay, I thought them going to Ann Arbor and everything, which was weird, but I thought that part, it showed the happiness. I assumed that something bad might happen just because everything seemed to be going too well, but also I thought maybe that's just because I'm conditioned for these kind of cheap things to happen, and then it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just so many questions raised at that last scene. Like, okay, I know Timothy comes in at the end to save her, and then he gets stabbed. And then it's like they leave. First, I'm like, okay, they leave him. Maybe this is the part where they do the bones and all
Right.
to another eater. And I thought, okay, that's it right here. This is going to be that moment that they've been talking about. The
They're
name
just
of
gonna
the
get
movie.
horny as hell. And
Yeah,
eat the bones.
it kind of seemed like that, right? Because they're all like,
Well, when
and
she
she's
ate
like
the
ripping
finger
out. That's
first.
and she's like ripping out his heart or whatever, and they're just like, I'm like, oh, here's the bones and all, but that doesn't happen, right? And then he's stabbed, and for some reason they don't go anywhere. But like they were attacked. This would have been an easy thing to explain. To like call an. They say we can't call an ambulance, but I'm like, why? They're not doing anything wrong now. They got attacked.
Yeah.
in
they
their
defend-
apartment,
They defended themselves. Like, how else would that guy? It's their apartment.
and
How
he
the
got
guy-
stabbed. So I mean,
like they have proof that they were. I guess because she like ripped out his heart, that would look a little weird. But I don't know.
Put it back in.
Yeah. Oops. And then you have that, and then I don't know. And then Timothy wants her to eat him. And it seems like it's not really clear if she does start. She's definitely like making
kinda hear
out
them.
with his blood, but
Yeah, she's like drinking his blood for sure.
yeah.
I don't know if she's yeah.
And then it's the end, and which is just a shot from them far away, and it looks like he's alive.
It goes back to the apartment. And it's all cleaned up.
Oh, yeah,
and like
yeah.
everything's gone.
Yeah.
And the bodies are gone. So that's where I kind of assumed like maybe you could assume that she like ate all of him, Timothée Chalamet.
Bones and all.
Yeah.
Like she ate him, bones
Yeah.
and all.
Did she eat both of them? Did she eat Sully too?
Maybe. But I don't know. I guess I think the important thing is it would be him, like Timothée Chalamet, because
And then
obviously they were in love.
the final scene is kind of like they're together, as in like she ate him. So they're together forever.
That was, I forget, was the very last when they like did that little monologue, or was that right before they moved to Ann Arbor? Because they said like, let's just be
That's
normal people
before.
for a little
Yeah,
while.
that's
Yeah,
right
that's
before
before.
Ann Arbor.
Mm-hmm.
See, I wish that would have been the ending. like let's just be normal people for a little while and then
Yeah.
cut.
Yeah.
You don't really have
There's
to.
also like that scene too, just like the ending scene with Mark Rylance and that fight and everything. I thought was like kind of weirdly edited with like the shots and stuff of cutting away to like, I don't know, normal thing like the sink and stuff. It's like too on the nose. Like, oh, we're gonna go to this super graphic shit of like, him getting like choked out with a grocery bag, and then cut to here's the sink, and you can like still hear the shit in the background. Like,
I'm interested why he used a bag and not his shirt.
I thought the bag was weird anyway because he had a knife. Can't he just poke a hole in the bag?
Or
breathe?
his finger.
But it's only
grocery bags.
Yeah,
are like
it's a
paper
grocery
thin.
bag. Yeah.
That's why I said take his shirt off and then do it with his shirt.
Or just hit him over the head with something.
Yeah, that too.
He had the jump on him.
That felt like the worst way to try and kill someone when they have a knife and can just stab you like they did. But like he saw.
Well, I
he had
like
a
how
knife.
that looks, though. I mean,
It did look cool.
it looks cool.
But that's cheap just to do something for the intention of it just looking good, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, just I don't know that whole. I think I kind of agree with Josh actually. With if that would have ended there, would have been.
I would have loved it. Then
Yeah.
you don't have the ambiguity. You just have like what happened after.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How long were they normal? Did they say normal?
yeah,
Then you leave with questions. This is like, well,
yeah. Him dying and like her eating him doesn't
do
I don't know,
anything.
doesn't
for
really
me.
add much, I guess. Yeah, for me either.
They could have. Like,
and maybe that's a fault of the movie and too, like the writing, like the bones and all thing we've talked about it a million times. Like there was no significance to that besides them saying that. So like, if there would have been like a greater significance placed on that, then like that could have been a cool ending. Like if she had to eat him bones and all,
Yeah.
and then like we could have felt something from that. But I don't feel like there was a significance placed on that.
No.
Other than like these two random guys saying it.
Yeah, it got them high is basically all they
Right.
said.
So
and then they added the weird wrinkle of Kayla getting killed.
That's what I was
Sully.
going to say too. Like that was the other
that was
question it
super
raised.
added.
So you're
Like
like,
that was another question it raised. Why would Sully? He can't smell non-eaters, right? So why did he go and?
But he was following them, so he knew where he knew that's where his sister was.
Yeah,
I feel like
but
that was kind of just
It
like
didn't feel like he was mad at Timothy though. He never even had an
yeah, but
interaction.
she had nobody.
yeah, I don't know.
Like, what's her nuts? Taylor Russell.
But even the way they acted, and they just kind of just seemed like a throwaway. He's just like, look, it's like Kayla. It's like we'll worry about that later or something like that, and then
Yeah.
that's it.
Shit, don't think about that now.
Yeah, then he
Well, you're gonna
actually
die anyway.
he actually calls it out too. So, like Jacob and I knew it was Kayla without them saying it. So then he's like grabs and he's like, oh, he got Kayla. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, yeah.
Like now you're just
It
adding too
seemed
many.
completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like there's so much that happened in that last like 15 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever.
Cut it out.
Yeah.
yeah,
Keep
And
it at the.
It didn't really add much. I feel like that was definitely the weakest part of the entire movie was the last like 15 minutes of the movie.
yeah. I think I agree too.
There was like no real payoff for many of the things that felt built up. And then it's like they added new things that we also never get paid off because
Yeah.
they don't even have time to answer that before the end. And then it just ends, which I do like ambiguous endings, but this felt cheap. Like,
This felt answered though.
yeah.
Like, I mean,
yeah,
It didn't. I feel like you could have been more ambiguous, like if you would have cut off where I said this, like answers
Right. That's what I'm saying.
questions that were just posed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they created questions at the end to have that kind of ending, but like that doesn't work when you didn't
answer anything
like
else.
they don't feel like these big built up questions we need to know answers to that you left us blank just to think about that. It was like, oh, we added a bunch of answers
that were
new
questions that
in
were
the
just
last
answered
like
right after.
10 minutes and now left those unanswered. But it's like, okay, but we already know the answer from before the scene where you said it should ended. Like that was ambiguous enough.
Yeah. Like I said, him dying doesn't really add anything for me. So like I think as a love story too, it works better to cut it off where Josh was saying, because like it makes it more tragic, I guess. Like, you know, that it's kind of, I mean, I would say, I guess you would think it's doomed to fail. Like just
people
their lifestyle.
who are on drugs, right?
Yeah.
Like, and
so like you don't get
users.
to see their downfall, but like you can assume it's going to happen, and like you're left with like a quote unquote happy ending because they're happy for the time, but like you know that it's doomed to fail in the end. Like that's
like,
more interesting.
They were bad together, and then they left, and they both got better. And
that was another weird thing. Is like, they left, and then like she just like comes back and finds
she's
him.
all clean and like does well. That felt very rushed too.
Yeah.
But either way, they both seemed better now. Like he was back home, like she seemed better.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they got clean and got back together, and then, you know, it starts getting bad again, but then we're kind of left with like maybe they'll make it, maybe they won't.
Yeah.
Then we know they don't. It's like, oh, well.
Yeah, and then it just immediately,
One
gives
more
you the
thing
answer to
that would be heavy spoilers is the mom thing, because that's kind of what the movie's building up to the whole time, right? She wants to find her mom because her dad left her. Daddy wasn't there. He wasn't there. So she finds her mom, which is Chloe Sevigny, which is really weird. She's in it for like 3 minutes,
Literally
at most. But that scene too, like, I don't know how you felt about that scene. Like, I like kind of like this is a choice. Like, it shows that like this is one of your choices, right? You have this, you can off yourself, or
Timothy poses
pretty much those
questions.
two. Yeah. So like, and you get to see the horrors of like this is what your life would be like, or you know, you either eat, off yourself, or commit yourself, and this is what's gonna happen to you. But I thought the part of like the note, and then like she gets to
attacked
it,
right at the end.
she's like, so I have to kill you, and like the nurse too said like, oh yeah, she just took her meds or whatever. So it's like, are these meds doing anything? Because she's clearly like coherent enough to know when she gets to that part of the note.
She's waiting.
To lunge
She's like,
forward.
she's like I can't lunge at the wrong time.
Yeah, it won't make sense
unless I lunge at
that
the
was
last
so
sentence.
like corny. I was like, oh my god.
And plus, like, no one else read this note that this person wrote because they probably would have pre-read it, right? I mean,
yeah.
But even if they didn't, she just sits there and like lets her be that close to someone who has attacked people before.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, she doesn't have any arms, so, but.
Still have teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did think that was a little cheesy. Just, and so I must do it myself.
Yeah.
Come here.
Yeah, I mean, I like that she like tracked her down and where like that led to.
I liked how that whole scene looked.
Yeah, and then after that, it's like that's another weird like lull, because like you're like, okay, this is like what the whole movie was leading to, and now it's like, where do we go from here?
That's when I felt the biggest lull was right. Well, it was like basically from meeting the guys in Missouri to like the hospital was like felt so long, and I was like kind of tuning out. I kept twisting in my seat because I'm like antsy. Yeah.
Oh, and one nitpick, but small thing about the state abbreviations. You know, the only one they didn't put on there, Michigan.
Yeah,
they put every fucking state that they go to, even if it's for they went to that one state
just
for like
through it.
3 seconds, and it was like, and then a new state, and they put it up there still, and then like they get to
that's
Michigan,
what we
they don't
didn't
put it
know
up
they
there.
were in Michigan, and then they said Ann Arbor. I'm like, oh, they're in Michigan now.
Like, why would you do every state they go to and not
Except
and not
Michigan?
do that one? It just
Maybe that was a conscious choice, and we're just missing it.
yeah, for what reason? Because clearly it's not like it's not like they're trying to hide where they're at, because they fucking flash U of M shit everywhere.
I know.
And she says she has a job on campus.
I just wanted to turn around and see Timothy watching in the background and be like,
Yeah, we turn around.
You know how they
Timothy-
randomly show up at the theater?
Yeah, you'd been the fifth person there with us.
Where'd
Yeah,
you
there
go?
was-
State Theater?
No, we went
No,
to the
the
Imagine.
Ann Arbor.
Or
Oh.
the-
20.
not
Max.
Imagine. Ann Arbor Max, yeah.
Yeah, cinema, whatever.
Well, cool. Anything else on Bones and All for you guys?
No.
All right, let's rate it out of 5 stars. What are you going to give it?
I'm gonna give it a heavy 3.
I also gave it a heavy 3.
I am a 3.5. All right, ready to get into this next burr?
Yeah.
I'm gonna rinse. We should rinse our glasses out, I assume.
I was going to do that bid talk, but it takes me to get out.
I can do it. If you want to introduce it.
I will introduce it. So this, Jacob's going to have to pronounce it for us. A resident French.
Vanille.
Vanille. Which translates to raspberry and vanilla.
Doesn't sound as cool.
Not that cool at all. But
Graven Vanille.
yeah, that's exactly. So it is a imperial stout from Outside Ales out of Grand Haven,
Michigan.
technically. Michigan. I just went to the Super Liquor, found a section of single cans, and this one looked interesting. So, description on the can reads, subtly sweet raspberry flavor is complemented by notes of cocoa and oak from the barrel. What follows is a vanilla bean forward presence with a smooth finish. We have a little difference in Untapped versus this can skew. Can says 11.75, Untapped says 10.75. I like the former, so we're going to go with the higher ABV at 11.75. Obviously, we all love Outside. I don't know if we've featured them.
We have. We've had to have, yeah.
Can't remember which
I
beer.
can't think of a specific one, but I'm sure we had to have them before.
Right? We had to have.
Did we have Bean Flicker on the show? I
No.
don't think so.
No, but
I know we talked about them
no
because
Dragon's Milk either.
that's New Holland.
Yeah.
Oh, New Holland. Confuse them sometimes. They're close to each other.
No, we don't. I don't think we've had any of the hipster brunched on here. No Mayan Mocha.
Wait, did we not have Mayan Mocha?
I don't think so.
Damn. Have we not had Outside on the show? That seems surprising.
We obviously went there with Travis.
Didn't we have
so-
that mint one? Mint Java
No,
chip?
Java
No.
chip mint stout.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
That was Perrin, wasn't it?
We did
that
have
mint, that mint was
Oh.
that mint one was from
Yeah.
Perrin.
a midnight.
Mint night snack
Yep.
or something like that.
Huh. Maybe not. This could be the first one.
Think for 1 fucking second.
Well, they are a fantastic brewery. They usually have nothing but good ones. I don't.
And their dark beers are like always
Yeah.
incredible. Looked interesting, so had to go for it. It's a cracker. Only a 12-ounce can, so we're
Go, 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 go.
pretty limited on the. Kyle, you want to hand me your glass?
Yeah, we have had Outside.
What?
Do you know what one it was?
No.
Like the worst Outside beer you could pick.
Of course.
Beer Me. That just that
Oh.
lager.
Oh, the lager.
The lager. Of course, the only beer I've ever had from them that's not great.
I mean, solid lager, but yeah, it's just a lager. Lager, hardly know her.
A lot of raspberry on the nose.
Oh yeah, heaps.
Yes, that's why they put it first.
Yeah. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Completely different from what we just had.
That hits
There's
you
the flavor.
in the taste buds. That's such a drying switch.
Definitely needs to warm up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it
'Cause
feels
I'm
a
getting
little
like
muted.
Yeah, I'm getting a little muted. Thin.
Just getting alcohol.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully you have enough to talk about, at least.
I will keep us alive.
Put it in the old ball carriage.
Yeah, there we go. Just like and all quiet. If your hands are cold, cup your balls.
Yeah. It works.
All right, let me pull up the old diary for some nano reviews. These fuckers are just
World Cup
disregarding
only
the
comes every
cinema
4 years, Kyle.
of this show.
The suds part, no issue.
Well,
Yeah, plenty of sets.
I only have one, so I can stretch this out. I watched Duel, the Riley Stearns flick. It's on Hulu now. I'm working on getting some more 2022 movies in for the Cram Jam. We only have like a month left, guys.
I know.
Your list's gonna be ready.
For the top 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got at least 10 of them.
Well, yeah, but have you seen all the movies that you want to see? I guess is the question.
No, they haven't been out yet.
The movies I want to see are coming out soon.
Well, anyway, I really liked The Art of Self-Defense from Riley Stearns. It's the only other movie I've seen of his.
I knew that name sounded familiar.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
And it's got your
enjoy
girl
that.
in it.
Yep. So I was excited to see this one, and I was pleasantly surprised. I guess I wasn't surprised by it. It's pretty much exactly like The Art of Self-Defense. Both, I would say, are extremely influenced by Yorgos Lanthimos. I don't know if you've seen either of these, Jacob, but
I've seen the Art of Self-Defense.
Oh, okay.
I
Did
talked
you like
about
that?
it on
I
the
don't
show.
remember. I don't remember that.
I did.
Okay. Should check it out then. Yeah, it's kind of similar. Not like super high concept or anything, but it is like a kind of set in like a futuristic world, but like the time or like the technology is never established. Like the one thing that I love about this is the like art direction or the production design that they use. Like their cell phones look like when they're typing like text messages, it looks like a macro command on like a computer. Like
Yeah.
they're typing in like code, and like everything, just like how things look. It's like old technology. It's like futuristic, but like old technology. So like it like doesn't date itself, right? It's like things that are unique to this movie and world. So I don't know. It's like all that stuff that they do for
Kinda like
kind of showcasing
it
that.
follows. You never really know when it.
Yeah,
takes
it's
place.
I would say it's similar to that. Yeah, like the fucking shell phone.
Yeah,
That's so
the
weird.
shell phone.
But yeah, I love all that stuff, and it's super funny, but like super dry humor. There's a great dance scene in it.
Nice.
So Aaron Paul does some bust a move. It's pretty funny.
Ooh.
Yeah, ultimately the end I would say is probably the thing that holds it up. I wouldn't say it's like unsatisfying, but you kind of expect. I wish they would have gone into more unexpected territory, because I feel like the ending is very much what you would expect from like the beginning, and like they try to set up something towards the end where like you think it's going to subvert the expectation, and then it doesn't. And there's like this really, like with clones, there's like this really cheesy foreshadowing of like, oh, something in the DNA coding got wrong and she has blue eyes and you
yeah.
have brown eyes. And it doesn't like play into that too much. Like it doesn't do like the reveal of like, oh, she had like the blue eyes and it like shows the eyes. It doesn't do that. So like, thank God. But
She's wearing contacts.
But well, it does do like something along those lines. So it's like it's through dialogue. It's not like through the camera shot. But like, come on, too obvious. But
Not
yeah,
like the
everything
Michael
else,
Jackson
I really liked. Karen Gillan is like, she's playing like somebody straight out of a Yorgos movie, just totally deadpan. And I do like the kind of themes and ideas that it's going for, like just like this existentialist, like your life is going nowhere feeling, and then something happens and it kind of gives it, like she reinvigorates it. And that, you could say that story's been done 1,000 times as well, but in this light, it's a little bit different, and it's a nice twist on it. So I would say check it out. It's pretty short. It's only 90 minutes. There's at least 5 minutes of credits. So
Yeah, and before I forget, I know you guys were interested at one point. Waves is on Peacock now with Calvin Harrison,
huge.
and Taylor Russell is in that one too.
Oh,
So
okay. So yeah, that's
It's not 2022, but I know
no,
we've
yeah,
been
yeah.
wanting to
Oh,
watch
for
it
sure, for sure.
for quite some time, and I just looked it up, and it's on Peacock now.
Oh
So
hell.
Yeah, I'm pretty much going to be working on this year's movies for the rest of the year, but I will definitely get around to that for sure. Okay, anything else for you guys?
Nope.
I do have one more small thing. I haven't finished it, so I know like with TV, right, we usually like to finish the series before talking about it, but I don't think I'm going to finish this because it is dog shit.
Yikes.
I started The Watcher on Netflix. Do you know what this is?
No.
Do you know who Ryan Murphy is?
Yes.
The guy that did Monster, The Jeffrey Dahmer Show, and he also did American Horror Story.
I was going to say him
Yeah.
and one other did American Horror Story.
Yep.
I only watched American Horror Story.
So this is another Ryan Murphy show. Came out like immediately after Monster. So I don't know like if they're just like banking these up and releasing them or how he has that much free time. But yeah, The Watcher. I had heard about this case too. I feel like it was like a podcast or something, not like a true crime podcast, like a conspiracy podcast or something. I don't remember. Anyway, I knew like some small details about this case. I was interested in watching it, and the writing in this show is so atrocious. Like every line that a character says, you're like, that is not what a real person would say. It's so corny and so bad. Like I really can't express this enough. And the mystery is like, you know, it's enough to keep you going, like watching it, but I had heard that the ending is like super bad and dissatisfying also because I don't think this case was ever solved. I don't know if you guys know anything about it. Like,
no, not at all.
This guy moves into a house and he's getting like these creepy letters, and it's like, oh, like I see that you have 2 kids, and you know I'll be watching you or whatever. And then like the next one's like, oh, their names are Aaron and Lori, and they like to do this. They have these activities. Yeah, whatever, blah, blah, from The Watcher. And so like he's like, he gets like basically paranoid about like all these people that it could be. And I don't think the case was ever solved. So I don't feel like I know that the ending is going to be dissatisfying as well. And yeah, just like the production value and everything, it's decently high. Like Naomi Watts and I don't forget the other guy's name. He was in Blonde. Yeah. Like they're good. Their performances are fine, but just like the material that they're given to work with is so bad that it does not make
Nobody
up for
can
it.
save it.
You said it, and I have seen parts of it.
The show?
Carissa started watching it, and I was like,
yeah.
and
What
she
is
even
this?
like was like, what the hell?
Yeah, when like normal. Okay, so like for TV, there's like always a bump for TV, right? Like if a TV show is bingeable and like hooks you in, people will like love it and call it the best thing ever, even if it's like mid at best, right? Like there's that bingeable nature that people, they equate that with it being a good show. And this probably has that to some degree, but the ratings on the show are not good. And if that's coming from normal people that normally give
really bad.
mid shows like 5 out of 5, then you know that this is bad. Like it is bad. So I don't think I'm going to finish it, but I just figured I would mention that now because that's literally the only other thing I watched. So okay, is that it for everybody? You guys want to, I don't know, anything else to say on, what was this called again? While I look up.
But what'd you say?
Vanille.
Yeah, talk about that. I'm gonna see what we have for next week.
Well, now that it's nice and warm, you can get more of the flavors out of it instead of just the alcohol nose.
Mm-hmm.
Still
And
very subtle.
But
it did
I
say
can
subtle.
definitely taste the raspberry now. It said the vanilla is not that strong for me. I think the chocolate flavor overpowers the vanilla. And it definitely has a booziness.
I think, fuck. What's the name of the beer, Jacob? What am I thinking of?
I have no idea.
Oh my God.
You said like one word, fuck.
Yeah, but if I'm thinking of this and I'm thinking of another beer, come on, what's it called?
That's similar to this?
Yes,
That's a stout?
that's better.
Oh, Big
I'm
Luscious.
actually embarrassed for you.
Big
Josh got
Luscious.
it, yes.
Big Luscious?
Big
I was gonna
Luscious.
say Fruitwood.
I think Big Luscious is much better.
Yeah, Big Luscious is a stout though. Fruitwood is not.
Yeah.
It's an old ale.
It's like like a Belgian or something.
Maybe I was thinking Big Luscious. Yeah.
Big
Come on,
Luscious is
Jacob.
better.
It has
Yeah.
more of the raspberry.
Similar. Well, this is like, I feel like this is like pure raspberry.
Really?
That's what I'm getting.
I mean, I definitely taste raspberry, but it seems pretty light.
I'm getting a lot of chocolate.
Yeah,
I would say
chocolate
raspberry
first.
first, then chocolate. Not really any vanilla.
Little bourbon barrel.
Yep, for sure.
It is light on all flavors.
Not light on booze.
Except the booziness. You can definitely feel that burn.
Okay. Let's see. What do we have this week coming out? Friday.
A Wounded Fawn. Shudder Original.
Yeah, we don't have a lot.
We have Violent Night.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. I'm looking at the wrong week. Yep. December 2nd. Let's say we already passed that. I mean, yeah, that's about it. I don't know. What are you guys thinking?
I'm good with
We
it.
could go
Yeah.
back. We could do something else, or yeah, we could do Violent Night.
I mean, there's Devotion just came out. Strange World just came out. Not too thrilled on either of those. But
Well, Fableman's expanded, so we should have that.
Fableman's, yeah.
So we could do that.
Fableman's was at Ann Arbor Theater we just went to.
Yeah, it should be in because if we, if we can do Fableman's that way. The next week we won't have to. We'll have like The Whale and Empire of Light to choose from, and Pinocchio's on Netflix. The next week is going to be stacked. So.
Yeah. And there's like a Violent Night, like another kind of Violent Night movie coming out week after from Jeff Bezos, who did VFW.
Jeff Bezos?
And, no,
yeah.
Bezos, I think. He's the one that did, like I said, VFW, and he did Bliss.
Oh, okay.
Did
Gotcha.
like VFW.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like Violent Night would have been good if there was nothing else, but if
Joe
you would rather
Bezos.
see Fableman's, then we should do that.
Yeah, it just depends. I don't know if I won't know if it's coming to Jackson until
Okay.
like midweek.
But
Yeah,
here's
like
what we'll do.
Wednesday.
We'll say Fableman's will prioritize if it's available. If not, we can always do Violent Night. I don't really care. Like I said, I don't even want to see Fableman's. So, I mean, I will see it, but it's not high on my list. So, sound good?
Sounds
Mhm.
good.
Okay, cool. Well, that wraps up the show. If you want to send us a question or comment, you can email us at sudsandcinemapodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at sudsandcinemapodcast. I'm on Letterboxd and Untapped at the KG Project.
I'm on both those as JSAL517. That's JSAL517.
And I'm on both platforms at Josh_Saldana.
All right, thanks for listening.
Cheers, guys.